Welcome to the Elders Corner. Hey, y'all. Look, y'all. Y'all know I'm just showing out. How y'all doing? Hi, I am Nelson, the Holistic. What's been up? I told y'all I was going to show up on Wednesday. Listen, y'all, we just going to chit-chat a little bit. We talked about 360 last week. If this is your first time, I just need you to like and subscribe. Please leave a comment. I am Nelson, the Holistic. Over here is where reality and spirituality meet with a little bit of holistic flavor. How you doing? Listen, and we use endearment terms like OG, homie, jizz, young ball, just terminologies that you would use on the block. A lot of terms that we use are urban and ebonics with a little bit of Christianity. A lot of stuff come from out of Christianity because over here, we Christians, we're believers. We believe in God. Okay? So, get comfortable. We talk trash over here. Don't take it personal. And it is what it is, We're human. We're human over here. Okay? And yes, we've been through the traditions. And yes, we've been through the schooling. And yes, we are still called so-and-so. But over here, we're human. We regular. We homies. Okay? What's up, big homie? Oh, geez. Listen, guys, a lot's been going on. So much has been going on. Look what our president doing. So we told the Republicans, y'all need to hurry up with the big, beautiful bill. Big, beautiful bill that guts Medicaid, cuts SNAP, Section 8 voucher, and all the rich people, Elon Musk, Zuckerberg, all of them. What's the one with the other space one? All of them gonna line their pockets. They already lined their pockets. They deported all the Mexicans and all the undocumented that had to get up out of here. They won't even go to work. And then we ushered in white Afrikanans. They're not African. They're Africano. Huh? And they're going to come over here with MAGA. MAGA said they tired of Trump made MAGA poor. Trump forgot MAGA have more recipients of SNAP and assistance than anybody. He forgot about that. He forgot about all those farmers that depended on the government to assist them in ensuring that they can get quality products. Because remember, you had regulations, certain things you had to do here, where in other places you don't got to do. Now them people going bankrupt. And he said, I'm going to run for a third term. Who? Y'all going to vote for that again? Against yourself again? Listen, the federal Department of Justice ain't never did nothing for the coloreds. The colors can get but so far. Okay. So everything he tore up. You running transgenders out of the military. You running the gays out of the military. It's all white men. Please put all the white men on the front line. Let them go fight these wars that's going to get ready to happen. Put them, please. And come on home. Transgender military and take what you take and come on home, baby, and start your life. And let the white men handle their business. This is our president. This is our administration. This is what's going to happen. Whether you accept what I'm saying, for all the people that voted for him and were saying, ain't no women out of... I've heard so many different things what they said about that black women. Some of the black Christian women. Some of the black Christian preachers. How Donald Trump was put in there. God put him in there. I heard that so much. I had to stop going to church a little bit during that time. Let me back up. I want to hear that. And it might be prophetic and it might be the will of God. But I don't think in this time, and yes, people are. Men after their own doctrine. They're users. Everybody cutthroat. The churn starting at 5 and 6 know more than the person that's 50, 60 because of the computer and the phone. Parenting ain't parenting. Kid ain't kidding. Being an adult is ghetto. Like, a lot of stuff is happening that people ain't running to God. And they running from the church. They running from the mosque still big. The Jews still go. They're, listen. When they came here, they didn't give up who they were. And they sticking to it. Regardless of what. Even the evangelicals. Guess what? They sticking to it. Whether they consider racism, all that stuff, they standing 10 toes down. But us Christians, we don't stick like that. And I know it's a lot of wolves in sheep clothing. I told y'all about that last week on 360. I've been talking about that the whole time on this podcast, about how people pretend to be this and then you find out like, what? And then they require you to not live your life, but to follow every. That ain't gonna happen. I'm sorry, that ain't gonna happen. That ain't gonna happen. I've learned so much. And my eyes open. So if the government's showing out like that, and then we look at Diddy's trial. And y'all ain't gonna like what I'm finna say. So I don't, and listen, I don't care. When y'all was saying what y'all had to say, I just said anything. I just kept my mouth closed. So I'm gonna say what I want to say. You know, it's a bad thing that I could be with somebody who is rich, famous, with money, a uncle, and I can go be their fantasy. And when I don't get what I think I'm supposed to get, I can come back and literally have them in federal court, take money. I'm with a whole nother person with kids, and I'm begging this one for money because of what we did. Because I thought I was going to use my sexuality and my sex appeal and my skin color and my talent to get where I was. No, you use your body. And you thought that what it was to be his partner, but you was never his partner. And now I can come back and destroy him. And it's funny because everybody was like, oh, don't victim shame. Forget, have you ever been there? Have you ever been there? I remember being in love with a person. I remember being in love with this person. I had his name tattooed on me. I was young, I was stupid. I thought I was grown. I was in the streets. And I loved it. This thing was I didn't like nothing else but this. Guess what? I was started with that. Next thing you know, I had a pipe. Next thing I was running in stores. I was robbing. I was on the block. I was going to jail and then getting left in jail. And then he was with the next. And then one day, introduced me to selling my body on the street. The same person I love. And I went out there faithfully. You couldn't tell me nothing, honey. I ain't going to tell you. I'm not even going to say it. Because people who know. For many years, I was out there thinking it was, because I was so in love with a person. And guess what? When it got so to the point where I was done. I didn't want nothing from you. I escaped. I didn't look back. When I go home and see this person, they see me and I always see them. At first it was my heart was like this. And then when I said, Lord, I thank you. He went to jail while we were young and stupid. And I ran away. Everybody else is dead. I'm trying to tell you something. I'll never forget when he brought another person. And when he brought that person, she was, Oh God. She wanted us. She was this. And brought her. Oh, show her the ropes. And she was deadly. And it was like, okay. That's when I started seeing. But then we became a family. And we did it together. Was I coerced? I thought I was grown. Was I manipulated? I thought I was grown back then. That's how I feel about this other situation. And if this person was a billionaire and running the world, and I see the next person that came behind me and they get the world handed to them, and then I'm going to destroy them. Aren't you happy? You moved 3 minutes in your mama's house. I'm talking about the case and what was testified. This is not my words. This is her words. This is the people's words. And for me, I hope the man come home not guilty, because they haven't proved racketeering, sex trafficking, none of that. None of that is proven to me. Domestic violence and sex, maybe prostitution, because y'all hire people to enjoy. I don't know. But that's consenting and with gifts. So I don't know. I just don't feel like, I'm just tired of that. We're in an era you can't do nothing. And you got to watch yourself. And if they think you got anything, they're going to take you out. If they think you got anything, and we're not even talking about billionaires. We're talking about hundredaires. Hundredaires. We're on the corner now. We're on the block. In the community in which I thrive in, people will come set up shop, and they doing their thing, right? Next thing you know, they robbed and in jail. Them hundredaires, thousandaires, okay? So they'll get you. Just like people, when they get on they high horse. When they think you're beneath them, or you need them, or you want something from them, because they got lunch money and food stamps. They got their income tax. You know, a lot of people get their income tax and their food stamps, and they couple of dollars, and they get so grand, you better not call their phone. You better not, because you ain't going to answer. And you don't even know they got there. You just call and say, hey, how you doing? I ain't seen you in a minute. You don't hear from them for a long time. And as soon as something happens, your phone ringing. And let me tell y'all something. And when it used to happen to me, I used to answer the phone. Oh, baby, and then I hear the stop sign, and then I'm 10 toes down. And then guess what? My situation done got tore up because I focused on yours, and yours was a whole lot in a game you played trying to get over. That's gone. Gone are the days that your sob story ignite my empathy to think that I'm going to run fast forward like a big dummy. Gone are the days. Gone are the days. Gone are the days. Gone are the days. Gone are the days that you think that your story is going to move me and I'm going to... The Bible says, look towards the hill from which your help cometh from. Your help comes from the Lord. Now you're going to make me preach. That's what you need to be calling. In the Pentecostal church, they used to say, Jesus on the main line. Call him up, tell him what you want. Jesus on the main line now. So, I'm not on that no more. I'm not, I can't help you. I can pray. We can reason with God to open the door for you to get where you need to be. Because what you're not going to do is do you and live and don't look back, and you got everything to say, and then when it's trouble in your land, is, let me go over here because I know they're going to help me. No, we're not. You have to go up, find a hill. And whichever direction the hill is going up, tilt your head that way. And look beyond the sky. And talk to the Lord so he can help you. And if you call him by his name, he's going to show up. And you got to go to church to learn those things. You need to be in Bible class or in your religious organization and learning what tools it is to contact with God so that God can answer your prayers. That's why the Bible teaches you got to start working on yourself. And this is the year of working on myself. This is the year I'm working on myself. I have done so much for everybody else, and I'm the one. No, that's done. That's done. That's done. God gave me my recipe. I have a recipe, y'all. I'm cooking. I think it's time for everybody to put their pots on the stove and start cooking. You got to start hearing God for your recipes, what you need to put in your pot while it's on the stove. Okay? That's why I said, let's talk. You know, we're in a climate that our government do not care about nobody. The one thing I hope come out of this, for real, y'all remember back in this, well, y'all don't remember. Some of y'all don't. Back in the 60s and the 70s, one thing about black people, we were like this. You see how my hands intervene? I growed up with my grandmama in our community in Richmond Heights. We knew everybody's house. Everybody, we knew who owned the house, who their mom and daddy was, who was the family, because those families were together for a long time before I got here. Those families grew up with my mom and daddy and my uncles and cousins and, my uncles and aunts and my grandmama and, that's the community I grew up in, okay? And if I went up the block to the park, we're talking like 2 blocks up, not New York blocks. We're talking about country blocks. It's a little bit different. And the park was in the middle of the community. If I go up there and fight somebody from the other side of the park, by the time I got home, somebody done slapped me in the back of my head, threw me in the car, and took me to my grandmama door. And they probably cussing me out and threatened me. And then by the time I got home, I got a whooping. We got whoopings back then. Okay? Water hose. I was telling one of my other homegirls, I was like, y'all lucky. We was showed out and my grandma was on the phone. We was in there showing out. We got busted in here with that telephone that was on that cord, the landline. You don't see that no more. Some of the traditional stuff made us stronger, but made us wiser. Certain stuff we weren't doing in grandma's house. So when we were sneaking and drinking and smoking, you thought we did that in front of grandma's house? We didn't even do it in our community. We went to the park, got on the park, act like we had to act up. Somebody will cook. We knew everybody. Everybody knew everybody. So whoever mama cooked, we was at their mama house eating. And our grandma was telling us, you better not be eating at nobody's house. Getting sober. And they would call. I grew up in Christian home. So a lot of stuff where everybody got a chance to do, I didn't get a chance to do. But when I got a chance to do it, I did it. Okay? I wasn't allowed to spend the night and go hang out all night. I wasn't allowed to do that. Some nights, they didn't see me after school. After school, my grandma drove the school bus. So after school, when I got home, I was in the house trying to get my little homework together and get my little outfit together and get me something to eat because I knew we were going to church. I'm going to be in church all night because she told me that morning. She gave me about $5 or $10 and said, y'all know we're going to church tonight. I need you to come home and get your stuff together. Be ready when I get home. And let me tell you about my grandmama. By the time I got home from school, most of the time dinner was cooked. And she was going to work. So I'll go in there, I'll take my bath, get me something to eat, doing my little homework. Because I loved the school. I was bad in school, but I loved my schoolwork. As far as doing the work and I was a fighter, talk trash because I was I went in a popular circle. I was part of the circle that was rejected, but I was a fighter in my community. So everybody know, like, oh, he's calling me BB. BB gonna fight. That's my nickname. Okay? First it was double L, and then it was BB. Double L, gonna fight. And then it went to BB. And so I got a name as a fighter. So a fighter, and then church. Oh, they going to church. You know. When they have block parties, we weren't allowed to go to the block parties. My grandma would let us sit on the porch and listen and watch the parades and stuff, but we weren't allowed to really. And then when I got a chance to go hang out with my cousins in Eatonville or my cousins in Winter Park, that's when I got the chance to be bad. Because Aunt Coral, they were sanctified, but they weren't like grandmama. Grandmama, we had to be in the book, da-da-da-da. They just went to church every Sunday in Bible class. Grandma, we didn't have a TV in the house. We had to listen to the gospel channel. Okay? And then when we did get a TV, it was in the living room, and we couldn't watch it when Grandma was in the house. Don't let it rain. All the windows are up, all the lights off, and we praying or reading scriptures. I just growed up like that. You understand? And back then, black people were like this. We used to go to each other's house and eat. It was a lady named Miss Lizzie. I'll never forget her. She was so countrified. Now, mind, when I say country, we all have homes. We have a lot. You know, front yard, backyard. My grandma had vegetables in the backyard. Most of everybody in the, because across the street we used to steal Mr. Leon's sugar canes. He had the best sugar canes. You understand? Miss Lizzie used to have chickens running through the whole community. Everybody, if you saw a chicken or you might even hear the hogs. And she had a little yard, like you might hear the hogs, because she got a hog that she finna cut up, live and cook it. Every part of it. I used to watch her make skins and eat the skin. My grandma used to beat the crap out of me because she was like, I wasn't supposed to eat out of people's house. But I couldn't help it. I was of all the elders in our community always allowed me around and invited me. You know, and then, you know, I had an old spirit, and y'all know I was in prayer and stuff like that, and I knew God and stuff like that. So I connected with the seniors more than I connected with the people my age. Because I always had to fight them, and I always had to prove who I am, and, you know, that's when you know, life was a little different. When I got in the streets, I met this person. And I don't have the same story as Cassie and Diddy. But what I'm saying to you, even with R. Kelly and all them young ladies, even with Bill Cosby and all that stuff, when you want what you want and you use what you got to get it and you don't get it, it's a problem. The problem is not them, which it is, but the problem you too. Because to have a mindset to use your body, because I'm attractive and my skin light and my voice is tinty and my tits and my butt and all that stuff that people use to manipulate people, and then you run into your demon. You run into your match. Because that's what happened. I thought I was grown. My mom and them could tell me that. Remember, I told you I had a regret. I had a regret. My regret was not honoring and listening to my ancestors. When I had them right here, when I could kiss my granny. When I could touch, you know what I'm saying? Mom, like, for real, like, there were people, my auntie Shug, my grandma Kid, like, for real, my Uncle Stem, my Uncle Leggett, Calvin, Smooch Daddy. Like, when I could touch them and they were guiding me, I was in the streets. I'll never forget. My uncles didn't play about me in them streets. Now went on. Especially my Uncle Jumbo. What? Get out of here. Get out of here. That's why I told y'all when I went home this time for Mother's Day weekend, I was home with my family. You don't know what it felt like to have that connection, like when Grandmama was living. Because that's how we was when Grandmama was living. When my grandmama was living, we were just like that. And this time we were like that. We got a little bit of work to do. And I'm going to do it. I feel like I want to do it. I got to get my sister. My sister has been a protector her whole life. And she's my baby sister. And, you know, Mika is a force. Me is a force. She's a mental force. She's an alpha female. She's a protector, right? Is her heart connect with yours and she go to protecting you in any situation? And I gotta teach her every situation don't need to be addressed. Some stuff gotta be flyby. You know, and I think with her, she never was able to express, you know, her tenacity. And so now she has her voice and she has her strength, you know. And, you know, when people don't know what it is, you know, I'm offended. You talk to people and you're telling them the truth, they get offended. People don't like the truth. They don't like the truth. That's why they say the truth shall set you free. It is the truth, the way, and the light. Truth is a light. It's a door opener. It's a way out. Okay? It's okay to embrace that you're not the perfect person. It's okay to say that I've been there, done that. Because I have. You know, I've been there, done that. They told me, oh, God ain't gonna bless nothing like that. They used to look at me and tell me that. Yeah. Put oil on it. I rebuke that demon. That's what they used to say. And the whole time they were doing that, I'd be crying like I was like, I wasn't worthy or I wasn't, you know, like, Lord, every time I go to church, I got to be done like this. God, you don't like me like that? And I ran to the streets thinking that there was love out there, and God was with me the whole time. Every time I got high and was on them drugs, and people used to tell me, stop preaching. We don't want to hear that. Girl, you got to go outside with that. We can't get high around with you. I said, oh, you can't get high around me? You think you can hide from God? I used to tear them up. I used to mess people out doing that mess. They thought it was mess. As I'm telling you, it sounds like mess, right? But that's what kept me alive. Because they did. They're dead. And look at me. I'm actually on a podcast able to tell you what happened in the 80s and the 90s. Okay? And what I'm going to start doing on here too, because somebody brought something to my attention that I think that they're taking away real history. They're taking away who we really is more and more and more and more and more. I never knew that my great-grandmother, and I just found this out, was Cherokee Indian. So when my hair curls up with the water and on all this stuff, I think I'm an African American. I know that the Leggets came from Sierra Leone, and we was at the North Carolina chopping block. That's where our ancestors landed, and we were sold into a plantation in Mississippi. Now that's on my dad's side. My mom and them is similar, but my grandmother was Cherokee Indian. So that's where the skin come from. That's why when I get in the sun, I get black. I love it. I love it. The high cheekbones, the big chin, the big forehead, the little head. Look how little my head is, y'all. Tall like an oak tree. I love who I'm learning, who I am. I'm more than just what you see. And I thank God for teaching me what I am. And I thank God that He loved me. And He loved you too. And it's not what people say He is. You gotta get your own relationship with Him. You gotta know God for yourself. The book teaches us about who God is and His words and how He got. That's their history. What is your history with God? What is your encounter and testimony of who God is and what He's been? The voice you heard, like your Moses experience, your Noah, because all us. Oh, come on now. Now you're gonna make me go in on you. When was your Noah, your Lot experience? Your Abraham, when you had to run away from your family to get your life together. And the Lord told you, if you do this, I'm going to show you this and I'm going to give you. What's your story? What was your encounter? Let's document that. Okay, and I'm sorry, y'all. I went Christian on y'all. I didn't mean to, but it just took me there because of where we're at in life. We in 2025. They can ride a rocket to go see the moon and come down less than 30 minutes. They can fly across the world and don't have to stop for plane fluid. They got technology that I can get on here and be in Paris at the same time. So what I'm saying? So we're evolving. As we evolve, we gotta learn how to take care and love one another. Take care of your kind. That's what I want to tell you. Take care of your kind. Take care of your kind. Build you a community that you can lead and guide and be a strength for. And if you don't have the ability to do that, and you've been in that place and you didn't get no help and you struggle, listen, your second chance is being the help for somebody else. Be a help. Be the help. The Lord, when I had my church and pastor died and Minister Robinson left me, because that was my right hand. That was my right hand. Because I took senior pastor, he was going to be assistant pastor because he was my right hand. Even in the church, it was Eric, me, then Troy. And then we had Max. Max was our steward. Stu, he kept all the money. We had DIT, which was supposed to be Eric Daniels. That was our deacon. You know. We had my mother, Tiny James was the mother of our church. She was the mother. She's still a mother. I gotta go see her. When they left, and when I looked up, it was just me and the kids. It was me and my kids. And my daughter at the time, she had got married. And she was bringing her husband and her baby to the church. And they're bringing their friends and her mom bringing his friends. And it was just a whole bunch of young people. I said, we're going to have a young church. And I was going to turn the church young and we were going to do young stuff. And then I became, disconnected and angry. And the word came to me, you need to get yourself together. And I heard the Lord tell me when I got to Greater Restoration, be the help that you always needed. And sometimes starting over, start off as the help. Start out at the bottom. It's okay. You see your pastor or executive pastor or prophet so-and-so, and when you go somewhere else, start from the bottom. You keep the title. Be humble and meek. And start at the bottom. It's okay to learn. It's okay to learn another way. It's okay to learn a new administration, so to say, or new docket. policy. It's okay to start at the bottom. And I did that. I'm doing that. And I like it. Okay? Listen, y'all, thank y'all for showing up over here at the Elders Corner. Listen, y'all know the summer is coming. We're getting ready for our holistic stuff. We have a lot of stuff coming. I've been working on new products, guys. I'm going to start showing you guys. I have a new logo that we're going to be using. Y'all, listen, merch is coming. The website is coming. And as soon as I get that, I'm going to start posting on the website. So you guys can subscribe to our newsletters, our up-and-coming event. When we're having recipes, I need you guys to just hold in as we gradually grow this together. And we're going to build our own community. You know, we're going to live in reality. And whatever your spiritual content is, you grab a hold of it as you're into this community. You don't have to change your spiritual connection to be in this community. This community, you hold on to that. But you bring the reality and your integrity. And we meet over here and we learn some holistic stuff that can make us healthy. That can make our skin beautiful. That can make our sex life better. Even though we need a little relaxation without using drugs. Listen, we can even help heart rates and stuff. It's a lot of stuff we can do that's natural, that works, that really, 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 really works. Okay? So listen, guys, I thank you for showing up over here at the Elder Corner. I am Nelsa the Holistic. Thank you for showing up.